What do you have to say about rights? Are they real or are they a myth? Let's talk about it. My name is Kamua Mwega. Welcome to the Mwega Show. So let's talk about rights. So rights is a human concept. It is a human construct about things which people are entitled to.
You ain't getting away with that shit.
Logically, rights are nonsensical. They don't make sense. Like if you try to go deep into what is a right or what does that mean, it is nonsensical. Because let's look at the right to life. So you are entitled to live. But that does not stop someone from killing you. So you are entitled to live, so you have a right to live. But someone can take your life.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal.
So rights only exist under threat of violence. Let me repeat that. Rights only exist under a threat of violence. What is this threat of violence? This is what we call enforcement of rights. In fact, even within the word enforcement. So rights have to be enforced. Rights cannot exist without the threat of violence. You remove the threat of violence, then you no longer have rights.
You ain't getting away with that shit.
And then you remember that in this modern society, we are anti-violence. But then violence is the only thing that entitles us to rights. Then I think our society is just gone crazy. We believe in two opposite things at the same time, and to us, both of them are true and exist, and they are truly opposite of one another. So we hate violence, we don't like violence, but also we like rights, we want rights. But then these rights cannot exist without violence, but then we don't want violence. So does that mean we don't want rights? So we want rights, but we don't want violence. But the only way rights can exist is with this violence. But we don't want this violence, but we want these rights. Are you seeing where we are having a disconnect? What do I mean? And this is something which Andrew Wilson of The Crucible, go subscribe to his channel if you like debates like I do. That without the enforcers, there can be no rights. And the enforcers are men. So without men, there is nothing like rights. Because men give other men rights, give women rights, give children rights. Anyone who has rights, they have been given by men. Because men are the rights enforcers. I know some of you who have difficulty in following. Let me just break it down. This is not my example. It's something which Andrew talks about, of The Crucible talks about a lot. So let's say, for example, women who are a majority, like in Kenya, women are the majority, I think, even of voters or people who are of voting age, even if they have not registered for voting. So women are a majority. So women who are a majority decide, you know what, we are going to vote for a woman president, women MPs, women governors, women everything. So 100% women. This is a hypothetical, of course. So don't come and start saying, but that can't. This is a hypothetical. Just tumia akili utakufa. Kidogo tu for now. 100% women. And then let's assume all those women are humanists and feminists. So they decide, you know what? We are going to put it into law that we are not going to employ any man. That all companies fire all men beginning next month. So fire all of them, fuck men.
Hello, Poppy.
It's law. It went through the process. It went through public participation because you have majority of women core ground. They supported it. It kind of parliament. Women, they voted for it. Senate, Capitisho, President, woman, signed into law. Men, fuck you. You're supposed to get out of the workforce. So what does that mean? We want 100% women in the army. We want 100% women in the police force. We want 100% women in corporate and everything. We just want women.
You got a lot of nerve walking in here.
So like, okay, cool, it's low. So end month comes and then men are like, no.
What?
That's not happening. So the CEO who are women decide we are going to fire men. And then men in the company are like, okay. No, it's not going to happen. You're going to fire us? We are not getting out of the workplace. And in fact, let's do it this way. You say that we as men are not supposed to come into the workplace. We are saying from tomorrow, we don't want to see any woman in this workplace.
Get out of here right now.
So what will they do? What will the women do? Absolutely nothing. Why? Because they cannot enforce their own laws, their own policies, their own rights outside of men. If women who, let's say, they get all the positions of power and they make all these decisions and everything, and then they want to enforce the laws they have made, they cannot do that without the men. The men are the enforcers. So the men enforce rights of men, rights of women, and rights of children, and anyone who has rights. It's the men who enforce those rights. And if the men just woke up and said, you know, this thing of rights doesn't exist anymore. Like if men collectively around the globe just said, no, we are not doing that anymore. We are not doing that anymore. There is nothing women can do. And what makes men the enforcers of rights is because men not only can threaten violence, but can actually execute violence.
Oh my God!
Rights cannot exist outside of violence. Are we still ending violence? So when we end violence, that means we are ending rights, because violence is the only thing that keeps rights alive. If you disagree, tell me in the comments, well, where am I wrong? Without the enforcers, there are no rights. So if you disagree with me, tell me, where am I wrong? Or comments. Okay? If you like this video, if you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, finya like button, share the video, comment on the video, and see you on the next one.